You know, Oddworld has to be one of my favorite games from the early PlayStation era of gaming. Um, One of the only two-dimensional games really on the PlayStation. For the most part, PlayStation games were trying with rudimentary 3D,
Follow
but
me.
Oddworld was a pre-rendered video game, um, and of course did very well in sales. I remember going into stores and them having cutouts of this game with Abe as a cardboard cutout, and when I bought it, I didn't know what to really think. It was not a very good description of the game, really. But now they remade it in 3D, and so I had to buy it right away when I saw it was finally for sale on the PC. It was first for sale on the PlayStation 4, which makes sense, really, because I mean, since the first game was for sale on the PlayStation 1. But here I am playing the game. I'm just going to show a little bit of footage here, as I don't want to give away too much. But in this game, Abe is a slave to his company. He doesn't know it. He thinks he's employed, but he's really, for the most part, a slave because he's been. They're not allowed to leave this facility and sort of put here against their will. And so you're trying to rescue all of the other coworkers here, the other Mudokons who have been slaves. But you'll hear it's really funny the dialogue that you hear when you're running through this game. Some of the things that they say, like they say, this is the worst job I've ever had, and little do they realize they're being held against their will. I think Abe's really the only one who realizes this, and the Mudokons are willing to follow Abe because, well, I mean, he's got he's got the ability to get them out of there. But I think Mudokons, I believe they sort of cover this a little bit more in the lore and everything like that. That all the Mudokons can really, as far as the ones that are in the wilderness, are really more in tune with their abilities to possess, chant, open portals, things like that. More in tune with the animals also of Oddworld. And here I love the death scenes in Oddworld. You just possess them and throw them off the cliffs or whatever you want to do, really. And I love the new graphics of the portal that now open up. Before there was, I think, just a general little portal opening animation. It looked nice for the PlayStation era, but this is so much more nicer. Um, and when we do see an expansion pack of this game, Abe's Exodus, which hopefully I'm sure they will remake the game, since maybe they really have to see how well this game's going. But as you can see, this is actually one of the secrets of the game, so that's why it looks a little bit more difficult. They're throwing electric force fields everywhere, these grinders everywhere, and stuff like that, because it's obviously a lot more harder to rescue these Mudokons. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure why these Mudokons were placed in such a harsh area. Really, maybe they did something wrong or whatever, so they were placed there. And the chanting ability is really one of the best abilities in any video game. I mean, when you think about it, it's not. This is a puzzle game, so you have to figure out how to get yourself out of here. And when you're given the ability to possess the creatures that are holding you against your will, it really makes it quite easy for Abe to get out of here. And one of the other new features, because of the ragdolling, you can actually punch around the other corpses and stuff, and it's just this game has a lot of crude humor for the most part. I mean, he works in a meat processing plant. Already you can see that this has a lot of dark tones to it. Um, but they throw in some jokes every now and then to lighten the mood. And I love how the camera in this game kind of flows with the characters, whether they're in the foreground, background. Which, by the way, if they do make Abe's Exodus, they will probably have to put a lot of the sligs in the background, because in that game it introduced sligs to the background and foreground, and you're able to, if you possess those sligs, you're able to possess the ones in the background and shoot into the foreground. In this one, there are sligs in the background, but when you possess them, they can't shoot into the foreground. They just, I don't know, for the most part, all you can do is just either explode them or jump them off a cliff or something. The control scheme is also very different in this as well. I was using an Xbox 360 controller, Really, I would not recommend using a keyboard and mouse for this game. I mean, it's definitely a control-based game, because later in the game, when you do get to the native land, you have to. And I apologize for the audio falling back just a tad bit here, but like I was saying, when you go to the native land and you have to start speaking with the other Mudokons, you have to do high pitch, low pitch, fart, hello, goodbye, all those type of things quite quickly. So for you to do them on a keyboard is a little difficult, and it's easier just to memorize the buttons on a controller, to be honest with you. And this game is going to be actually quite difficult for anyone who's first starting this game, because as you can see here, I knew that secret was there because I played this game before, so I knew it was there. But if this is your first time playing, how are you going to know that? You know, really, what you're going to have to do is probably watch some guides online, some videos and walkthroughs and stuff like that to really figure out where each little secret is. Here's where I kind of figured out that Abe could scoot forward instead of just grab. In the PlayStation version, you would just roll close to the grenade, press a button, and you would grab it. But now you can actually either roll over the grenade to pick it up, or you can, yeah, I think that's the only option. I don't think you're allowed to grab it at all. But here's where that's kind of where I realized that Abe had this scoot forward move. Instead of just a roll move, he can now slowly scoot forward, which is similar to the crouch, to the slowly sneaking, like sneaking forwards. When you sneak forwards, the enemy can't hear you, obviously. So being able to crouch down and just slowly scoot forward allows you to get by a lot easier. But yeah, the ragdolling is pretty funny in this game. See, I'm just playing around with a corpse here. And all those Mudokons are trapped below. Once again, wondering what the heck they did to get down there. And why. I'm sure maybe at this point, since they're all down there, I'm going to guess that they're probably realizing at this point that they are no longer employees, and they're pretty much slaves at this point. They're being trapped against their will. I'm just kind of cutting forward to another hidden secret. If you saw that, I had to press open a lever and jump down into a cliff that would normally kill you. But once again, because I played the old game, I pretty much knew that this was a secret here, and that's where I had to pull off a little bit of a trick shot to kill that guy. Let's see. Oh, this one's pretty funny. You gotta love how Abe laughs every time one of the slugs die. Now this is where I battled with it. These stupid things. You saw I pressed on green, okay? In the PlayStation version, if you saw green and you pressed it, it would just disable it. In this one, sometimes you press on green and it just won't happen. So I'll just leave you here with a short montage of me blowing myself up 1,000,000 times. And we got lucky on that last one. And I like the little comment there of maybe one day everyone will follow me around instead of Abe. It's kind of interesting. I like the smoke coming out of the vents here, the shadowing on the billboard and stuff like that. It's really great to see such upconverted textures and stuff like that. This one was actually very difficult. I died here maybe 5 times trying to quickly roll under and jump up right at that same point before he turned around. Because if he turned around and he opens fire, he will kill all those Mudokons. At this point I was kind of experimenting, see if he could go through there or not. Nope, can't. So I just blow him up. Wonder how he got all these Mudokons over here, considering the last room was a hellhole with all the meat grinders and drop-down latches. But anyways, guys, that was just a quick look at the new Oddworld game, and if you like it, I highly recommend you pick it up on Steam so we can see them make another Abe's Exodus. Thanks for watching.